Hello everybody, welcome to Suburban Spotlight. Today we have Caleb Salazar with the Salazar Group from Movement Mortgage. Caleb, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Today's Spotlight is sponsored by the town of Sahuarita. Caleb, for anyone who doesn't know, can you tell us what is Movement Mortgage?
So Movement Mortgage is a retail lender here in the United States. We're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but we do have teams all across the United States in all 50 states. We focus on just community, on valuing people, and loving others.
Wonderful. And how long have you been with Movement Mortgage?
So I've been with Movement for about a year. July of last year would have been my official start date. We joke around in our office because technically I started right after college, but I was doing about a month of community service, which was unpaid internship.
Congratulations on your 1 year.
Thank you.
Caleb, what is your favorite part about Movement Mortgage?
So my favorite part of Movement Mortgage is honestly the culture. The culture is big into coaching, and I think that comes in at an executive level, is that all of our higher-ups were in some sort of profession as athletes. And that has actually elevated us as loan officers because they dive into the coaching aspect of valuing and loving people.
How do you feel that you set yourself apart from the competition?
So honestly, what I think sets us apart in this industry is due to the fact of our core values. So we're very, very firm in our beliefs and our values in terms of God, community, and people. And I think that's something that the real estate industry really needs, is because, as the market gets harder, people tend to treat others differently. However, we have very strong core values in terms of how we're going to present ourselves as professionals.
Caleb, how do you see your business growing locally within the next 5 years?
So the biggest thing for me is just referrals, right? And I think it's hard as you're entering this business because you have to get people to trust you. But once you do get the opportunity, you have to execute. And the biggest thing with that is once you execute, just getting your name out there, right? Not being afraid to ask for the business and asking for the opportunities to serve.
The big ask.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me how the town of Sahuarita has helped your business.
So my team and I primarily focus on VA and first-time homebuyers, but that doesn't neglect the fact that we also run into a lot of Border Patrol. So Border Patrol is big out here in Sahuarita, which we've had the opportunity to serve using USDA programs, which requires 0% down payment, things like that. And also, I have a lot of friends who work at Raytheon in the engineering industry, and so we've been able to serve them as well.
Where can people go who are watching to find out more about your business?
So if people want to know more about the Salazar Group at Movement Mortgage, I would just highly recommend following me on social media. I think I post a lot primarily on Instagram, but if you want to dive deeper into just the core values and what our team stands on, follow me on YouTube, because that's where I post more of my day-to-day content in terms of how I'm feeling about the business, what I'm learning, and things outside of just the mortgage industry.
And where do I find you on social media?
Yeah, so Instagram is csals_. Csals is a little bit of a play word back from high school. They used to call me that. And then for YouTube, it would be just my name, Caleb Salazar.
Can you tell me how Movement Mortgage has engaged with the local community?
So one of my favorite pieces about Movement Mortgage is that whenever we partner up with a real estate agent, we actually keep track of the donations that we're giving through those transactions. So at the end of the year, every real estate agent gets a report of how much that they've been able to contribute to local communities. Back in North Carolina, we actually have what's called movement schools. So we've built about 3 or 4 different schools and hired professional staff to be there to develop those communities that have lower income, lower more minorities. We really dove into those communities.
And how does an agent donate to that?
So interestingly enough, a real estate agent doesn't actually have to physically contribute to that. What we do is once we close a transaction with an agent, we take that upon our company to get money and proceeds from that and put it into those donations.
How does Movement Mortgage handle feedback from customers, both positive and negative?
We love feedback. Honestly, I think that's the biggest way to grow, especially for me in the early stages of my career. I need that feedback, whether it's good feedback or negative feedback, because if I want to be a top producer one day, I have to be able to learn from my mistakes and be able to address different situations differently down the road.
Caleb, we want to thank you for being here today on Suburban Spotlight, as well as the town of Sahuarita for sponsoring this spotlight. And my name's Christy Olaf, and we'll see you in the next one.